Okay, unit number second is about the role of international institutions on human rights. In this unit, we are going to see World War First, Second, League of Nations, UN Charter, principal organs of United Nations, and the UN special agencies who are working towards securing the human rights. Now, here we are going to discuss about the short history of establishment or the making of United Nation, how the United Nation came into existence, that we are going to see here. We'll start it from the Hague Peace Conference 1899. जगामध्ये खूप वेगळ्या प्रकारच्या कन्व्हेन्शन्स आणि कॉव्हेनंट झाल्या. वर्ल्ड वॉर फर्स्ट सेकंड झाल्या, लीग ऑफ नेशन्स कसं आलं किंवा युनायटेड नेशनची निर्मिती कशी झाली, हे आपण या ठिकाणी बघणार आहोत. खूप सारा इतिहास त्याच्या मागे आहे. मात्र आपण 19व्या शतकापासून 1899 साली जी हेग पीस कॉन्फरन्स झाली, तिथून आपण सुरू करणार आहोत. ओके, द हेग पीस कॉन्फरन्स, दॅट इज अ conference on the development of international law took place in the city of Hague in the year 1899. Then after, in the 1907, in the same place, the peace conference has been conducted by the leaders of the world, particularly of European countries. But before, after making an effort to maintain a peace and tranquility in the world, the World War First has been experienced by the whole world in the year 1914 to 1918. जवळपास 4 वर्ष जगाने हा वर्ल्ड वॉर फर्स्ट म्हणजे जागतिक महायुद्ध पहिलं हे अनुभवलेलं आहे. त्याला काय कारण असतील, अनेक कारण असतील, तो भाग वेगळा, दॅट वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू डिस्कस हिअर, बट वी आर हिअर टू जस्ट सी the milestones in the development of United Nations. The World War First took place in the 1914 to 1918, and this whole World War First has shaken the whole world. किती मनुष्यहानी, किती वित्तहानी होऊ शकते आणि कशा प्रकारे ह्युमन राईट्सचे पायदळी तुडवले जाऊ शकतात, कशा प्रकारे जगाची संपूर्ण अर्थव्यवस्था ही धोक्यात येऊ शकते, हे जगाने मोठ्या प्रमाणात अनुभवलेलं पाहायला मिळतं. नाउ दिस वर्ल्ड वॉर इज अबाउट the war between the European countries, but still it has created a huge impact on the whole world as such. Okay, then during when this world war is going on, during that period itself, the England and America, the two powerful nations of the world, has proposed a scheme of a league. The England and America has come forward and they have said that this is not good, we shall stop this world war, we should take a certain efforts to avoid such kind of world war in future, and therefore they have suggested a common draft of the scheme of a league. A league means an association where the different countries will come together, sit together, and will decide about the common future of all the world. Okay, then this scheme of league in the year June 1915 is considered as the league to enforce peace. To enforce peace means जगामध्ये पीस, शांतता बहाल करण्याकरता अशा प्रकारचं लीग किंवा असोसिएशन असणं हे अत्यंत गरजेचं आहे, हे जून 1915 मध्ये पुन्हा एकदा सांगण्यात आलं. आणि आफ्टर ड्यू टू सच the League to Enforce Peace, a document that is a League of Nations Commission has been established by the Peace Conference. This Hague Peace Conference has established a League of Nations Commission. League of Nations Commission has been established, and this League of Nations Commission has prepared a draft which has been accepted by UK and US. This draft is on the covenant of the League of Nations. This draft is on the covenant of the League of Nations. Covenant means an agreement, which is a binding agreement, and this binding agreement has been accepted by the League of Nations. It has been adopted in the Treaty of Versailles 1919. 1919 साली जो वर्सालेसचा तह झाला की ज्याद्वारे जागतिक महायुद्ध पहिलं किंवा वर्ल्ड वॉर फर्स्ट हे संपुष्टात आणलं, त्या वर्सालेसच्या तहामध्ये ह्या कॉव्हेनंट ऑफ लीग ऑफ नेशन्सचा स्वीकार करण्यात आला. आणि अशा प्रकारे 10 जानेवारी 1920 मध्ये हे लीग ऑफ नेशन्स एस्टॅब्लिश करण्यात आलं. 1919 मध्ये ती ट्रीटी झाली आणि ती जी ट्रीटी आहे, तो जो कॉव्हेनंट आहे, हा त्या देशाच्या पार्लमेंटने काय केला, रॅटिफाय केला आणि त्याद्वारे लीग ऑफ नेशन अस्तित्वात आलं 10 जानेवारी 1920 मध्ये. The object of League of Nations was to maintain peace, to maintain security, and to achieve international cooperation. These three are the main principles of League of Nations. आणि ह्या लीग ऑफ नेशन वर US आणि UK यांचं मोठ्या प्रमाणात वर्चस्व असलेलं पाहायला मिळतं. आणि बिकॉज ऑफ दॅट, बिकॉज ऑफ सर्टन पॉलिटिकल सिनेरिओ, 1920 ते 1930 पर्यंत, 10 वर्षापर्यंत लीग ऑफ नेशन्स अतिशय पॉवरफुल काम करत होतं, अतिशय चांगलं काम करत होतं. बट आफ्टर 1930 to 1940, that is before the beginning of World War II, ही लीग ऑफ नेशन्स थोडीशी फेल झालेली पाहायला मिळते, कारण काही पॉलिटिकल ब्लेम गेम त्यामध्ये करण्यात आलेला होता. आणि म्हणून वर्ल्ड वॉर सेकंड has been commenced in the year 1939 to 1945. About nearly 6 years this World War II has been go on. आणि ह्या 6 वर्षाच्या काळामध्ये जगामध्ये पहिल्या महायुद्धापेक्षा मोठा विनाश, मोठा संपत्तीचं नुकसान या दुसऱ्या महायुद्धामध्ये झालेलं पाहायला मिळतं. आणि याचा मोठा परिणाम भारतावर देखील झाला होता, कारण भारताचेही बरेचसे सैनिक हे इंग्लंडच्या बाजूने त्या ठिकाणी लढत होते, मित्र देशांच्या बाजूने लढत होते. आणि त्यामुळे इंग्लंडची असेल, अमेरिकेची असेल, सगळ्यांचीच अर्थव्यवस्था, राज्यव्यवस्था खिळखिळीत झालेली होती. आणि म्हणून या वर्ल्ड वॉरने खूप काही शिकवलं जगाला. आणि याच्यातून युनायटेड नेशन असावं असं अमेरिका आणि इंग्लंडच्या राष्ट्रपतींना असं वाटू लागलं. अँड देअरफॉर on August 14, 1941. Now here we are going to see the development stages in the establishment of United Nations. The United Nations established on 24th October 1945. 1945, that is during the World War II itself. आणि मग त्याच्यासाठी कुठल्या कुठल्या घटना कारणीभूत ठरल्या, कुठले कुठले माइलस्टोन्स होते, ते आपण यामध्ये बघणार आहोत. The Atlantic Charter has been entered into by the Franklin D. Roosevelt, the President of America, and by Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister of United Kingdom, that is England. These both leaders, these both countries are very influential countries in the World War II. And these two countries come together to discuss common principles. They have given their affirmation. They are agreed on certain common principles, and these common principles are considered as the Atlantic Charter of 1941. 1941 साली त्यांनी समुद्रामध्ये एका ठिकाणी काय केलं, अटलांटिक समुद्रामध्ये जहाजावर बसून काही ठराविक तत्वांवर आपली एकता असावी, एक वाक्यता असावी असं त्याने निश्चित केलं. आणि हे महायुद्ध कशा प्रकारे पुढे जाईल, कशा प्रकारे संपुष्टात येईल, याच्या संदर्भात आपल्याला काय प्रयत्न करता येईल आणि अशा प्रकारचे महायुद्ध होऊ नये म्हणून काय करता येईल, अशा प्रकारे फ्रँकलिन डी रुझवेल्ट यांनी मोठ्या प्रमाणात पुढाकार घेतलेला आपल्याला पाहायला मिळतो. Now they come towards the affirmation of certain common principles. These certain common principles are considered as Atlantic Charter of 1941. Then this United Nation Declaration has been made on 1st January 1942. That is immediately after 5 to 6 months, this United Nation Declaration has been made. Now this concept of this name of United Nation has been suggested by Franklin Roosevelt. Like there is a United States of America, likewise there is a United Nation organization. This word has been suggested by the Franklin D. Roosevelt. And this declaration has been signed by US, UK, USSR and China. US, that is America, UK, that is England, USSR, that is Russia, United Soviet, Russia, and by China. These 4 states have signed this document known as a UN declaration. A letter on this UN declaration has been signed by more than 43 countries. United States of Soviet Russia, China, England, and America, these four states have signed UN declaration that later on it was signed by more than 43 nations. Then, on the basis of same declaration in Russia, a Moscow declaration has been signed on October 30, 1943. ऑक्टोबर 30 1943 मध्ये हे जे UN डिक्लेरेशन आहे त्याच्यावर पुन्हा एकदा विचार करण्यात आला आणि तिथे ते साइन करण्यात आलं. तिथे ते एक वाक्यता घेण्यात आली दॅट द मेन इन ऑल लँड्स मीन्स आयदर दे आर इन the England or America or in Japan, Germany, or in any other country. The men in all lands may live out their lives in freedom. प्रत्येक मनुष्याला कसा जगण्याचा अधिकार आहे? फ्रीली जगण्याचा अधिकार आहे. आणि फ्रीडम फ्रॉम फिअर अँड वॉन्ट. फिअर म्हणजे काय की देर शॅल बी इंटरनॅशनल सिक्युरिटी अँड इंटरनॅशनल पीस. देर शॅल नॉट बी इंटरनॅशनल थ्रेट to your peace, to your security and safety. Without safety and security, you cannot progress. And therefore, there shall be a freedom from fear and want. Want means there shall basic needs of every human being shall be fulfilled. Therefore, it is agreed in Moscow, that is in Russia, that men in all lands may live out their lives in freedom from fear and want. Then, on the basis of same declaration, in Iran, a Tehran declaration has been signed by Franklin Roosevelt, Stalin, and by Churchill on 1st December 1943. That is immediately after 2 months, the declaration has been signed in Tehran by Roosevelt. Now, these declarations are nothing but the additions, changes, adaptations in their declaration towards establishment of United Nations. These all declarations are nothing but the landmarks. Huh? Therefore, all these declaration, every such declaration is very important. Okay. Then in Dumbarton Oaks, a city in the United States, the in Dumbarton Oak conference has been entered into on 7th October 1944. 7 ऑक्टोबर 1944 ला डंबरटन ओक नावाची जी सिटी आहे अमेरिकेमध्ये त्या ठिकाणी युनायटेड स्टेट्स, युनायटेड किंगडम, USSR, that is United States of Soviet Russia, and China, these four states have agreed upon the structure of the world organization, that is United Nations. They have created a certain structure that how this United Nation, how this world organization will function, will work. Who shall be the authorities? Who shall be the personnels? What kind of offices shall be appointed? Who shall sponsor? That is, who shall give a funding to this world organization? Because without funding, without finance, no system will work. And therefore, the China, Russia, United States, and United Kingdom has given a sponsoring to this world organization, and they have established a principal bodies of this United Nation: General Assembly, Security Council, International Court of Justice, and the Secretariat to the General Assembly. These four principal bodies have been established under the United Nations. Means this is proposed. This is a proposed structure which has been agreed upon in the Dumbarton Oaks Conference on 7th October 1944. Then immediately thereafter in Yalta, that is in the क्रिमिया नावाचा एक देश आहे त्यामध्ये याल्टा नावाचा जे शहर आहे त्या ठिकाणी एक कॉन्फरन्स घेण्यात आली आणि त्या कॉन्फरन्समध्ये जे सिक्युरिटी काउन्सिल आहे त्याच्या वोटिंग प्रोसिजर बाबत चर्चा करण्यात, कारण in Dumbarton Oaks these principal organs have been decided of United Nations, but there was a question about the structure, the establishment, composition, powers of Security Council. That who shall be the members, who shall be the permanent member, who shall be the temporary members, what shall be their powers. That was open to discuss, and that was discussed and signed in Yalta Conference. That is the voting procedure at United Nations Security Council has been confirmed, has been settled in Yalta Conference. Then thereafter on 25th April 1945, a San Francisco Conference has been entered into by United Nations Conference on International organization where 50 nations were members. म्हणजे ह्या सॅन फ्रान्सिस्को मध्ये काय करण्यात आलं, ती युनायटेड नेशनची कॉन्फरन्स घेण्यात आली ऑन इंटरनॅशनल ऑर्गनायझेशन, की एक इंटरनॅशनल ऑर्गनायझेशन असावी. युनायटेड नेशन्स म्हणजे सगळ्या देशांनी एकत्र येऊन एक जागतिक संघटना स्थापन करावी असं त्या ठिकाणी मान्य करण्यात आलं. त्याला जवळपास 50 देशांनी आपली मान्यता दर्शवली. And this United Nations Conference on International Organization has prepared the draft of UN Charter. This draft of UN Charter has been assented on 25th April 1945. पण जरी तो त्या देशांनी मान्यता केलेला असेल तरी त्या देशांच्या पार्लमेंटमध्ये त्याच्याविषयी रॅटिफिकेशन होणं बाकी होतं. आणि मग 29 जे मेजर स्टेट आहेत ते आणि जे बिग 5 कंट्रीज आहेत ते यांनी मिळून या युनायटेड नेशनला मान्यता दिली. आणि मान्यता दिल्यानंतर ऑन 24th October 1945 the United Nation has been established. United Nation organization has been established on 24th October 1945. And in establishing this United Nation organization, the big 5 countries has played a very pivotal role. These big 5 countries are China, France, UK, Soviet Union and United States. These 5 countries are now considered as a permanent members of Security Council also. Okay, they are having a veto power that we'll discuss later on. These United Nations have established certain principal organs like General Assembly, Security Council, Economic and Social Council, which is considered as ECOSOC, Trusteeship Council, International Court of Justice, and Secretariat. These 5 are considered as the principal organs of United Nations organization. And the subject with which we are dealing is the human right. The Economic and Social Council, the ECOSOC, has established the Commission on Human Rights and the Commission on the Status of Women. And this Commission on Human Rights has played a pivotal role in establishing a UDHR, that is Universal Declaration of Human Rights, International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights. Means the human right has been hugely enacted by this Commission on Human Rights, which is established by ECOSOC, that is Economic and Social Council, which is one of the principal organ of United Nations. The preamble of United Nations says that we the people of United Nations. Now this term we the people has been borrowed from American Constitution, that has been incorporated in UN Charter and also in the preamble of Indian Constitution. We the people of United Nations determined to reaffirm faith in fundamental human rights. Determined to reaffirm means human rights are there, but we are again giving our reaffirming our faith in fundamental human right. This fundamental right can be found in the dignity and worth of human person. This human right lies in the dignity and worth of human person in equal rights of men and women. Equal rights of men and women. Article 1 of UN Charter says that there shall be an international cooperation to promote and encourage respect for human rights and for fundamental freedoms for all without distinction. Respect for human rights shall be given. Now, why it is necessary to mention the word respect? Because no country shall consider himself superior. No country shall suppress another country. Economical, political, or social, no country shall suppress to another people, because it is stated that the injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. The Martin Luther Jr. he has said that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere, and therefore we shall provide equal respect for human rights and fundamental freedoms for all, and that too without distinction. We shall not make any kind of distinction or discrimination on the basis of race, religion, caste, sex, or place of birth. Particularly in Europe, there is a distinction on the basis of race, Negro and white people. In India, there is a discrimination on the basis of caste and religion. In Gulf countries, there is a distinction on the basis of gender, sex, men and women. Such kind of distinction, such kind of discrimination shall not be made, but we shall provide equal respect for human rights and equal respect for fundamental freedoms of all. Okay, by this way, the United Nations have tried to achieve the fundamental human rights of all the people. This is the short history of making an establishment of United Nations organization. This United Nations has played a very pivotal role in establishing human rights